Hi, I'm Luke Herbert. I'm a game designer at Dovetail Games, and you're watching Eurogamer.
Greetings gamers, I'm Ian Higton from Eurogamer and this is Dovetail Games Fishing, an upcoming cutting-edge fishing simulator. Wait, don't go anywhere just yet. Come on, I know on first glance it might look a little boring, but remember the fishing pond in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time? Remember how addictive that little mini-game was? Because I do. I fished in that pond for literally tens of hours, mostly when I was hammered, but anyway, that same joy you felt while playing that should be magnified here massively. So while you check out this brand new gameplay of an early build of Dovetail Games Fishing, I'll let Luke Herbert, one of the game's designers, tell you why he thinks this game will be the best fishing simulator ever.
What we want to do is create a #1 fishing simulator to develop a game for the community that seems to have been neglected by video games recently. We want to build a game simulator that players can actually go to practice fishing or to learn fishing if they haven't been before. We want to focus on developing the game around the community, so we're going to put it on Steam Early Access and get the community involved with the game's development, be very open with our development schedule and get them to give us feedback on the mechanics we put in place. So the first mechanic we put in place is our total cast control, which actually really does simulate how you cast in real life. You can do it with a keyboard and mouse, or you can do it with a controller. And it's all about just being in complete control of the fishing rod by using the control stick or the mouse. What we were really keen on, when we went into pre-production, we went fishing and we actually practiced how it feels to cast in real life. So you pull the rod behind you physically, you throw it out, but you also hold the line. And in other games, you just press a button, and a simple button press, the fishing line goes out. So with ours, because we're simulating the physics, what we want to do is you get the player to use the trigger on the controller to hold the line in, and that actually is what happens. You hold the line in, pull the rod back, and throw it forward. And if you got the trigger down, the line's not going to be released. So you have to release the line at the right time and get that perfect arc for the line just to sail through the air and go 20, 30, or 100 meters. That's the level of detail we've gone with our casting mechanic. You can cast it as far as you want, or you can cast it as short as you want, because we want to simulate that when you cast in real life, you want to cast to a specific area where the fish are generally pooling around, so you can actually cast there, wait for a little bit of time, use the right bait, use the right feed, and attract the fish that you're trying to capture. We're trying to create a game that's about hunting and mastering the skill of fishing. It's more about outwitting the fish, learning about their environments, where they want to be, what food they like, what food they don't like, and then trying to blend into their environment and hunt the fish that you want to catch. So we're focusing on building the game in a modular format. We want to start off by introducing our casting mechanic, which is quite new. No one's ever done anything like this in a fishing game before. We've got real-time simulation on our line, we've got real-time simulation on our water. We want to do dynamic environments so the weather changes, time of day changes, and all affects the fish and where they're going to be in the lake. We want players to sort of learn to adapt to their surroundings, change their tactics. So if they're not catching fish, the game will tell them that the weather's a bit too cold, so they need to change their bait or they need to change their position and try casting somewhere else. And then what we're going to do is create competitive gameplay by populating our fish on a cloud, so players will have the same fish even though they're playing at totally different times. So someone could be playing it in February, the fish weighs 10, 20 pounds, and then a couple of months later in breeding season it'll be 30 pounds because it's a lot heavier because it's actually got eggs to lay. We want to create a game where players sort of remember the fish they've caught. They'll track it. They caught it 6 months ago and it was lighter, and they caught it again today and it's actually a lot heavier. And creating that competitive gameplay between players is key to drawing them back in, getting them to play the game more and more.
So what content can we expect to see when the game launches on Early Access?
We're purely focusing on our casting controls right now, but we're still developing the game. We've only been working on it for a couple of months now. The first thing we wanted to tackle was our casting mechanic. We feel that we're in a position that we can start showing that to the public. That's why we're here at Gamescom. We'll introduce things like reeling, actually having fish in the game over time, but everything's going to be made with the community in mind. We want players to get involved, to play the game, to play the different areas of the game, and then give us feedback to say what features they like, what features they want more work on, any features that we haven't thought of that they can actually put forward and we can investigate and see if it's worth putting into the game. The game modes that we'll focus on are all about each mechanic we introduce. So we'll do casting game modes so you can practice it, get more precise, get more distance, and get rewarded and feel progression that you're actually getting better at casting. Do the same thing with catching fish. Same thing with hunting fish, and same thing with bait building, because everything you do in fishing is, is completely new to some players. Anglers and fishermen will know how these things work, but for some players it's completely new. So we need to be very careful with how we introduce these mechanics and make sure we give players the information and the tutorials that will help them learn how to be a better angler. And hopefully, if they want to, take it into the real world and then go fishing themselves and feel like they know how to fish thanks to our game. At the start, we're focusing on carp fishing because a lot of the people in the studio go carp fishing. Our consultants on Dovetail Fishing are Corda. They're the leading tackle company in the UK. Everyone, they've got well over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. They're very passionate about carp fishing, and they're very, very dedicated to this project. So with their help, we're pretty sure we're very confident, I should say, we're going to deliver a very, very realistic simulation on carp fishing. But then over time, we'll introduce other areas of fishing, so different things like rivers, more lakes around the world, different types of fish you can catch, open sea fishing. We'll introduce boats, other sort of gameplay mechanics that will actually increase the fun factor in our game, increase the entertainment factor, I should say, in our game, because we want to make something that's true to real life, but at the same time something that's entertaining. We're aiming for around an autumn to winter release time for early access, but obviously no official dates yet, so we want to make sure we've got something that players want to play and come back to, and that they can see it's going to grow, and they can see that actually when they play it now it's going to be different in 3 months' time, and then in another 3 months' time it's going to be different again. And we're going to be very open with our community, so around about autumn, winter time, keep an eye out on Dovetail Games Fishing, and we'll have something to announce.
Speaking to developers from Dovetail Games, it's obvious how passionate they are about creating the ultimate fishing sim. These are the people who made Train Simulator, another game which is super well known for its attention to detail, and it has a large dedicated fan base. So if you're aware of that title, you can probably expect the same kind of polish for fishing. Obviously, a finished product is a long way off, but if you're a fan of fishing, a fan of simulators, or you just want to relive those golden Ocarina of Time memories in a more modern setting with loads more modes and a whole bunch of true-to-life equipment, you should be aiming to land Dovetail Games Fishing in your net when it launches on Steam Early Access. Ha ha ha, fishing puns. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why not give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive interviews, early gameplay previews and interactive live streams. Bye-o!